Hey patrons, I have another birthday reading for patron Amira. So, Amira, here is your birthday reading. Happy belated birthday. And let me just read what you wrote. So, you said, so the question I want to ask is related to my sun, Chiron, Saturn, and Uranus. All four of their placements land on the 29th degree of Gemini and Sagittarius, respectively. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, wow. I feel like all four of these placements are in constant power struggles with each other. You're right about that. And I wonder what their conjunctions and oppositions signify in relationship to each other. I'm with the goal of helping people heal their traumas. Well, that's your Sun conjunct Chiron in particular, through the psychological and social services that I want to provide once I'm qualified to do so, as well as having a focus on healing spiritually as well. I guess my ultimate question is, or if my anoretic degree placements hinder or motivate my ultimate goal of healing those around me. So you might have heard me say before that the 29th degree is some heavy conflict oriented energy. It produces high pressure situations and it can produce internal and external conflicts. So that 29 can produce conflicts in terms of home, family, your mother, where you live, also food, culture, even nationality. So at one point, you might even consider moving out of this country. I don't know if you've already considered it or whatever. And you do have Saturn and Uranus in the ninth house. Um, when you're dealing with the oppositions like that, sometimes you might feel like the grass is greener on the other side. But mainly in your case, with the Sagittarius Gemini opposition, that is right there is going to produce some significant conflicts in your field. So Sagittarius is representing social work, also sociology, and that Gemini is pointing to you being able to process the information you're receiving, dealing with your degree, your major area of study, and also where you could have a number of questions. There could be times when you feel conflicted about the information that you're learning, and this can also happen in the field. Now, when you take the oppositions into account, especially because the Sun and Chiron are in the third house, and then Saturn and Uranus are in the ninth, that right there is like outreach. So Gemini is representing community, and Saturn and Uranus is representing the system that you work for or the organization that you work for and your attempts to basically reach those who are in need. And again, like I said, your Sun Chiron conjunction, that just naturally makes you a healer. But it also means that you are exceptional in some way, shape, or form. And you already told me, about you being transgender, and that's one of the ways where you are exceptional. So with Sun conjunct Chiron, also that could deal with wounding, where you have been wounded at some point, and it could have been in the verbal sense, harsh words being spoken to you, verbal abuse, but also where you strive to heal those who have been wounded as well. Your Sun is ruling the sixth house. That's the house of healing as well and work as well. So it's just showing that your life work will very much be involving healing other people. And you got that Virgo moon, you got that Virgo south node, you got that Mars conjoined to the north node in Pisces. So you're just meant to be part of something larger than yourself that really helps to heal humanity in some way. Working for a nonprofit organization, a charitable organization, all that. So those oppositions at times can cause you to have to go against a system or have to question authority. And that's something I do recommend. Like in this lifetime, you do need to question authority at times. And there could be times where you're trying to help out a client, but your hands are tied because of the policies and procedures and the regulations and legalities and all that. So there could be times where you feel like you're facing or fighting a losing battle, or you're facing an uphill challenge with trying to, reach the people. And there might be some people that don't want to be saved. So you might have to say, okay, some of these people I might have to just leave to their own devices or whatnot. Also, having to travel long distances, especially via car, could be a major theme in your life as well with that Gemini Sagittarius opposition. Definitely want to be careful when driving on freeways, highways, interstates, because that's where you could get into some hairy situations, especially because your sun is conjoined Chiron. That brings the need to always be careful about driving, period, and especially where you got to really watch out for the other person. There could be some crazy shit that happens, like a freak accident where something, falls on top of your car or flies at your car or what have you. So always keep that in mind. I would always I'll just say I recommend that you always carry some form of spiritual protection in your car. So tiger's eye is good for that. You could carry some wormwood, which is a herb that will protect you when you're driving. The rune that deals with traveling, Raito, is good to have. So you could get a pendant of that rune. But yeah, basically just having to deal with the conflicts associated with the nature of your work, but also conflicts with friends as well. So you might attract some friends into your life that they could be overbearing, especially in terms of communication. They might try to hog the conversation, and you might find that you can't get a word in edgewise sometimes, or you might find that you have to repeat yourself because they're either talking over you and they're not listening to what you're saying. So you might have to, kind of get your friends straight on, just etiquette in terms of communication. So that could be one of the issues that comes with that as well. But yeah, so I hope that helps you to gain some more insight into these oppositions. And again, that 29th degree can produce high pressure situations, especially involving your work, because the sun rules the sixth house, and then Saturn is involved, and Saturn's ruling the 10th house. So there'll be times where you might even feel threatened, like in terms of your safety. So, and that could be during, outreach. There's a need to be very discriminating and also heed your intuition. I forgot to mention that too. So there could be times when your intuition is popping off, but you're questioning it, because that Gemini influence will cause you to question the intuitive messages that you receive. So always heed your intuition. So I hope that this helps you to gain some more insight into these oppositions and how they can play out in your life. So I actually recommend you get a natal chart reading, because I'll be able to explain a lot more. But yeah, so anybody that has recently had a birthday, or if you have a birthday coming up, you can be on my birthday reading list. So you get a free birthday reading as a patron. Just send me a message to my Patreon inbox, include your date of birth, time of birth, and location, city, and state, and also provide at least one question. All right, I'll be back soon with some more videos. Stay tuned, y'all.